I took wonderful care of myself.
My freshman year of college, I was voted the healthiest girl in the dorm.
I was in the Marines, 12 years.
I was a dancer growing up. I did ballet.
I was pretty much carefree.
And obviously there was something going on.
Something was obviously wrong.
The doctors couldn't figure it out.
Tender, it's so sore. He said, well, I think we have to take an x-ray. My name is Beverly Hyman Feed. I'm 76 years old, and in 2002, I was diagnosed with fourth-stage metastasized, inoperable cancer, and today I live with my cancer. In my family, we are riddled with cancer. My mother died at 63. My eldest sister died of ovarian cancer, and my middle sister died of liver cancer. I was not going to get it because I took wonderful care of myself. I was an athlete, and I played tennis, and I ran sprints. I had stomach pains, very sharp stomach pains. And I said, I have a flu. I have a funny kind of a flu. Well, why would you want to take an x-ray? I'm so fit. I take such good care of myself. And I got angry with him. I said, there's no reason. I heard him telling my family, she has 8 large tumors in her abdomen. This is Friday. I would like her to go in by Monday for 4 kinds of chemotherapy into the site, 24 hours a day. Okay, this is it. I didn't expect it so harshly, but this is it. But I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to change my life as I know it by Monday.
We were all kind of lying around or standing around and crying and saying to ourselves, what are we going to do?
I saw that the doctors had not been wrong about my mother and my sisters, but that they didn't know everything. I thought to myself, they have hundreds of patients. I only have 1. There's so much new in cancer now, and I was able to look at new treatments for my kind of cancer. By the time I got to Dr. Eilber, and he had all my CAT scans and every MRI spread out around the table, as my family and I walked into the room, he said, I am not going to give you chemo, and I am not going to give you an operation. I am going to give you an experimental treatment, a shot of Lupron that they give prostate cancer patients, and Femara, which they give breast cancer patients. It'll be 9 years this summer. It's been a marvelous 9 years.
My name is Daryl Bristol. I'm 48. I was diagnosed with multiple myeloma cancer in December of 2008. I have an 8-year-old son. He was 6 years old at the time. His name is Derek, and he's everything in the world to me, and he's named after my baby brother who died when we were kids. I worked for the Santa Monica Police Department on their 3rd Street Promenade bicycle detail, but I was off work due to a bone break in my right arm that was not healing. The surgeon came in and told me what my disease was. He diagnosed me with multiple myeloma cancer. I needed to take care of my affairs, find a place for my son to live, and if I didn't have a will, to write a will. But I don't remember telling him, but I know he knew. And he just laid in the bed and stayed with me. Luckily, somebody came in and showed me a path, because I wouldn't have found it on my own. And that doctor came in and showed me how to change my attitude. My bad attitude weakened my body enough so that I couldn't fight off disease, and I got one of the most rare things you can get. I never asked for help from anybody for anything. Until this, I really asked and was grateful for it.
My name is Kenan Neal. I'm 45 years old. I've had cancer 4 times, and I'm currently in remission. I dreamed of being an English teacher. I love reading books. I love writing. I was probably one of the busier students on campus. I loved being involved in everything that was available. The doctor that diagnosed me was someone I had just met, and so that was a extremely sudden experience, just no knowledge that something so serious could be happening with my body. And because I was dating my husband, he was the natural first line. It really sped our relationship up because it wasn't about getting dressed up and going out on Friday night and looking perfect and all those things. It was about what the essentials of life were.
It just happened to happen at a time when we were very serious about our relationship, and it just seemed like the right thing to do, just carry on with life, and however it unfolded was the most important thing.
Well, cancer kept getting in the way of some plans that I had. I always wanted to have a big family.
When she got the phone call and it was confirmed that she had gone through menopause or was in that process, and it was a very dark day, you know.
The cells in my body were really close to becoming leukemia, so my doctor said, at this point, the only thing that will help you is a bone marrow transplant. So my sister and I had grown up really fighting like cats and dogs, and although we loved each other, we just didn't seem to be alike in any way. So when they asked if I had any siblings that could possibly be tested, I said, well, I do have one sister, but you might as well go to the marrow bank because we're so different. There's no way she's going to be a match. I got a phone call, and it was my oncologist saying they had tested my sister and she was a perfect match. So I felt so grateful that I had that particular sister. It became very, very clear at that moment that she was planned for me and I for her, and we've helped each other in various ways through the years, but that was an amazing moment.
When you've lost everything, you'll realize that you're really poised for success because you have nothing to lose. Any service member that has been in active duty since September 11th and has stayed in active duty have accepted the fact that they could possibly be put in harm's way and they could die. So being told I'm not gonna die is not like something new to me. The first time I got diagnosed, I think it's just kind of like the standard, just surprise, shock and awe. I couldn't believe this is happening, not me. So when I was younger, I see this guy, and he has a tattoo of an Iron Man logo on his calf. And I'm like, that's a cool tattoo. I was like, one of these days, I'm gonna get a tattoo that looks just like that. Well, several years down the line, I find out that that tattoo means that he's an Iron Man itself. When I got diagnosed, I wanted to do something to kind of show my family and friends that, I can overcome anything. The actual Ironman itself, a 2.4-mile swim, it's a 112-mile bike, and a full marathon, all back to back. So 6 months into my training, and I'm in the best shape I've ever been in my life. I'm having all these pains in my lower back, and I'm just feeling really run down. I mean, that's the scary part about cancer, is that, regardless how healthy you are or how much you have, cancer does not discriminate. We're all susceptible to it. Now, the second time that I got diagnosed, I was pissed. I was really angry with that one. I was supposed to die within 4 months. And so at that point, I'm striving to reach a goal that is 6 months after that. So everyone who's planning for this 4 months and counting the days, eventually I started planning for something that was 10 months away.
I went to Dos Pueblos High School in Goleta. I was a dancer growing up. I did ballet here in town for many years. I've always been a musician, but very, very shy. So even in jazz choir, I would never try out for a solo. When I was about 15, my foot started hurting. I went to the doctors back and forth for the whole year. Finally, my dad suggested I get an MRI, so I had an MRI done, and they found a tumor the size of a marble in the middle of my foot. Well, I didn't know anything about cancer. I knew that you lost your hair. We shaved our heads together, and I remember getting in the car, and we went for a drive and stuck our heads out the window because it felt so different. We could feel the wind. And there was definitely a change that happened in who I was and who I became. I had the opportunity to record in a studio. I met a lady named Nikki Simon at the time. She's now Nikki Katz, and she found out that I like to sing, and she thought it would be really cool to get something that I sang on the radio just to make me smile while I was in the hospital. I really felt through the whole journey that I grew up really fast. I remember being in the hospital down at UCLA having to sign a form saying, yes, you can remove my leg. My mom told me when I woke up from my surgery, I looked at her and I was like, now I know why I did so many years of ballet, so that I can be able to balance on one leg. Sometimes I find that I sit and wonder why things turned out the way they did. I was just a kid, living life moment by moment, nothing to lose, nothing.
It's actually become a really sweet privilege over the years. That's happened 4 times now where I feel that God's given me a new gift of not only living, but knowing that life in each stage is so precious.
And it went on and on all the time. But what I didn't understand is that my help lies in my...
Every moment that I can walk or stand up and move is a gift, is a real gift.
Then I remembered what you said to me. Ooh, you've got to be free.
It's been a powerful gift for me that I feel that I've been able to make a difference in people's lives. I'd like to drag everybody around me to happiness and show them this is what it is right here, this moment, this sunset, this moment with my grandchildren and my children. Couldn't be any better than that.
Desire.
I've had the opportunity to do something positive, and that's something that for me that's never happened before. And
Don't be afraid. I felt my world turn upside down. My head was spinning round and round. Everything.
When you are diagnosed, that is not the time to lie down. That's the time to stand up and fight.
Me